Hello everyone, welcome to another Cointelegraph live AMA. In the next hour, we will be talking about Web3 innovation as usual and take a closer look at the exciting projects and teams behind them. So today we're going to discuss Undeads, which is a next generation survival MMORPG. For people who are not into gaming, this means massive multiplayer online role-playing game. So it's a Web3 game that includes play to earn mechanisms and playable NFT assets. So the guest of today is Leo Kahn. Leo is the CEO of Undead, so the best person to talk about it. So his extensive experience in DeFi, mobile, P2P wallets, and cross-border payments has led him to many CMO positions. He also has contributed to the growth of 8 unicorn startups and 3 large Fortune 100 companies, including, of course, his role as a senior director of crypto at PayPal. So, hello, Leo, and welcome to a Cointelegraph AMA.
Hey, thanks, Gio. Hell of an introduction, man. I think I couldn't have done it better. So, thank you, thank you for that. Really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. And yeah, we had your colleague, Jan Emil Christensen, in a previous show. So, it's great to have you on today to follow up. And also, yeah, I just want to make sure that our audience understand that this is an interactive show. So please leave your comments underneath the tweet so that we can ask Leo about them. And in a minute, we will just start the discussion. Before that, I want to show a quick video introducing the Undeads. All right, that was a very cool introduction. I actually watched that trailer before, so I appreciated it. It's very cool, and yeah, just to introduce your game to people that have no idea about it. So, the Undead is a play-to-earn game where you fight for your survival, either as a human or as a zombie, and you also have all the characters, weapons, buildings, and other attributes as NFTs. So, can you talk about a bit more about the basics of the game and how it is different from other games in the same genre?
Sure, sure. I guess not to kind of like give away my age, it's joking, but I'm a huge fan of RPGs. Starting with, I think this genre really started Capcom with Resident Evil. I don't know how many audiences are playing this game, whether on PlayStation or Xbox. But then I think it kind of like it will resonate with you guys and people who are playing like Call of Duty and stuff like that. We all play games in the Web 2 environment, which is basically in a controlled environment. They are kind of like open worlds, but not really. But they're not really a play to earn model. They're not a Web3 game. They're not on chain. You can't use your own minted characters like as an NFT and so forth. So I think there's subtle differences to what these games are. But I think for people who don't have an idea what this game might really look like, it's kind of like Resident Evil on steroids, to be honest with you. And in Resident Evil, you can only play with limited characters. For the reason I'm doing this comparison, because it's kind of like it's a soft comparison, makes it much more easier. You can only play like four or five characters in Resident Evil, and that's pretty much it. And they're all new humans. So I think the biggest thing when we were creating and thinking with creative directors in this game was we're like, hey, how about the chance of smart zombies, and these zombies can be playable characters, right? Because zombies are evolving. They're just not really slow and dumb that you just basically go shoot them. So there's a lot of ways of how we thought about in our creative process, and we said, you know what, it would be fair if humans and zombies, you can play both characters, and that's basically what it is. So yes, it's a multi role game where it's playable characters in any form or fashion that you want to do, and the best thing is that you will be able to play your mintable characters that you already have today. So that's the difference. But again, open world on Web3, which is huge and massive. I'm sure you've played Sandbox and a couple of other games and so forth. They're doing phenomenally well. The problem today is, Geo, that there are about 1,500 games on blockchain, but kind of they all suck. And they're just not there. I mean, the tech hasn't caught up yet, or they're just not really as what we're used to playing on console gaming, for example, right? So that's what we're trying to do, to bring a console level quality, a triple A rated game on the blockchain. That's the mission. That's kind of like what we're doing here at Undeads.
Yeah, I'm actually a big fan of gaming. I haven't any experience in Web3 games, but of course I played Resident Evil, the one that you mentioned, and so uh, I kind of appreciated the idea of having a zombie as a character that you can play, because usually, as you said, in these games you are just going around shooting at zombies, but it's nice when you can take also their side against the humans. So that's an interesting change of perspective. But yeah, I want to just continue the discussion talking about a recent release that is Undead Rush. So basically, it's an enhanced version of the previous Undead experience. So
Yeah.
can you tell us whether it's just an enhanced version or it's a completely new game? Can you just talk about it and explain what is the change in there?
Yeah, great question. So since the game isn't live yet, Geo, and people are dying to get their hands on, right? Every time I go and I'm in different conferences and so forth, and random people come up to me, they're like, "Hey, man, I know about your game. I'm just dying to like play this game." You probably guys know that our mint was dropped about 4 or 5 months ago, and our mint was completely sold out. Even in the full blast of crypto winter, where we thought nobody would buy anything. Our mint was sold out for more than $1 million, and believe you me when I say this, we were like, I think, the number three tradable NFT asset on OpenSea and a couple of other platforms as well. So I think that was phenomenal. So why rush, right? Why did we create this? We just didn't want you to give you guys just a demo where you play for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and you're like, oh, I'm very happy with the demo, but I want to play more, and then you get disappointed, right? So the idea was, for all of our loyal fans, people who have minted and have these mints, they can actually go and play. So that's what we did. So we said, hey, for those loyal people, those rabid fans that we have to give them something. So that's why we announced Rush, and you can actually go and play today. It's undeads.com/rush, RUSH, and you can play with your mythical characters. And there's a caveat to that. So it just not only goes beyond a little bit of a demo, but you can choose large selection of weapons and vehicles today that are available to you. You can compete in different leaderboards, whether they're daily or monthly. They're in-game plays in terms of racing your cars and absolutely actually earning crypto rewards. So I think that's a very subtle way of saying that we are really communicating to our fan base, which, by the way, it's a little over 55K on Discord. So they're all like vetted fans. These are not like scams or bots or anything like that. So these are amazing things that our community that we have is a strong community. So we're just basically letting these guys to play the game and actually earn some a little bit of a extra moolah, if you will. So again, different types of vehicles that you have access to, different types of weapons that you have access to, leaderboard competitions, and game points. And game points are going to be very, very important. So I'm going to talk about why is it important for you to, if you own a Undead's NFT, why is it important for you to participate in Rush? Because you obviously you're part of it, you're invested in it, and you want the game and you want to play it. But getting those game points is absolutely important, because you guys know that instead of doing one airdrop, we're doing basically two airdrops. So there's two seasons. There's season one and season two, and I think we'll talk about that in a little bit in our AMA today.
Yes, we'll talk about it. And before we get to that, I want to talk a little bit more about Undeads Rush. So basically, I want to get a little bit more into the mechanics of it. You talked about engagement with the community, and we know that that's like a key point for Web3 gaming. So can you go a little bit deeper into the mechanics of the gameplay and also the design of the game and how all this encourages the player engagement and the participation of users in the economy of the game?
Sure. So it's Geo. It's basically early access, right? It's like having getting a beta access to the gameplay. Not, I'm gonna say that it's clunky or anything like that. So it's not a full finished game because this is an open world environment, and you can do basically whatever you want to do with it. Like you can create buildings and you can rent out buildings. So there's a lot of different economies that goes with the game. So we are a little bit of a limited, right? It's basically a limited release of the game of some of the features that we have. So for example, we're limiting it to like 5 vehicles or certain type of weapons that we have. Like instead of you just going and creating your own weapon, let's just say I want to create a very weird looking rocket launcher. You won't be able to do those type of things as of today. You will be able to do it in the main game. But the main thing, Geo, today is what you said is basically rewards, right? So rewarding our community members and giving them an opportunity to redeem the game with points into crypto. Like that's basically what we're trying to do. So basically, kicking in our tokenomics that we basically promised our users to give them access to that early on. So what it helps is you collect points, and those points are basically redeemable. Either in a real world asset, like let's say you want to get merch, for example, or you want to basically get those tokens out and make some money off of it. So it's basically serving the gamer economy, if you will. That's kind of like why we did it. So we really want to have some traction with our community members who actually own these NFTs as of today. So it's not for everyone. They won't be able to participate if you don't own an NFT with Undeads. So it's only for select few members who have access to our NFTs, and they can basically come in and they can play these games.
Yeah, and that leads me to my following question, which is about the role of NFTs in your game. So they are an integral part of Undeads, but it would be great to understand a little bit more about what is the role in the player's journey in building and evolving their characters, and also how the ownership of these NFTs can affect the overall gameplay experience.
Sure. So, like, since we're talking about Undead's Rush today, so it's not really only empowering you to just NFT holders to unlock like thrilling gameplay that we just talked about today, but it's definitely about getting lucrative rewards, right? That's definitely for sure. And NFTs are crucial to what the gameplay would be, even in the future. So that's the whole point. When we create a GameFi category like ours in our category, the whole idea is to, hey, I have this NFT, what do I do with it? Like, nothing, pretty much. It sits there, I can trade it and make some money off of it if the value goes up or down, like, that's whatever the market decides. But for us, it's actually interactability, how you interact with these NFTs, and you actually bring them to life and you play with these characters. So that's absolutely important. And then we are like all about being cross-platform, so we don't really lock you into just the Undead's metaverse. It's really about maybe you have from all these other prestigious, other players out there, like for example, like Yuga Labs, right? Azuki, The Gods, CloneX, and any of these guys that are out there. I'm just throwing names to basically broaden the audience, and they can also join in because you have all these NFTs. So you can basically bring that. So I think it's absolutely crucial and important that you can bring your tradable NFT asset, that you want to make it into playable. I think that's the key word. So that's what makes it fun and exciting. And it's absolutely important that you are able to put your NFTs basically to work.
Yeah, that sounds exciting, and I actually want to know more about it because as you mentioned, in order to play Undeads Rush, you need to obtain an NFT, and not just whatever NFT. You need to get either your or from blue chip NFT collections like Yuga Labs, Azuki, The Gods, Clone X, and Milady. So why your choice fell on these specific NFTs, and can you go a bit deeper into what sort of layer of exclusivity do they provide for users in the game?
Sure. Sure. Great question. So I think a couple of things. Number one, definitely for sure. I mean, recognition, right? So Yuga Labs and all the ones that you just mentioned, everyone knows who these guys are, and they have one of the most tradable assets in terms of volume, if you look at it, and they have great NFTs. So that's definitely a few pointers there. And then again, I think the third one would be its compatibility. So is it even compatible with the platform? So let's just say some random lab just creates an NFT and is just not going to work with our platform. It's very hard to just basically import over that NFT and make it into a playable character. So I think the technology would not really allow it. So that's part of the problem. So that's why we chose all these names that I'm basically putting out there that you'd basically mentioned are much more compatible with the Undead's metaverse. So I think that's one of the reasons.
Yeah, brand recognition is definitely an important factor, and all those names are pretty big in the NFT world. So potentially this is gonna play out very well. And I just wanna make a small break before we move on with the following questions, because I want to remind our listeners that this is an interactive show. So you are listening to Cointelegraph's live AMA. For those who just joined, our guest is Leo Kahn, CEO of Undeads. Undeads is a play-to-earn survival racing game backed by industry-leading experts that aim to deliver a truly premium gaming experience. So we are now talking in particular to a premium version of the game, if you wish, Undeads Rush. And so, just write your questions in the comments underneath the tweet, and we're going to ask Leo to answer those at the end of the discussion. So let's move on to the following question. So you said in a press release dedicated to the launch of Undeads Rush that you have rebalanced its tokenomics and eliminated any form of token sale rounds. So can you explain the rationale behind this decision, and explain what's behind it?
Yeah, Gio, great question. So I think for our audience, after every debacle that we went through, within our world in terms of Web3 and crypto, like what happened with all the bad actors, right? Like the FTXs and so forth, and we know what's going on. I think we took a very hard stance and decision on it from day one. So we are veterans in the industry. Like all the companies that you mentioned that I worked for, I was also one of the first 5 people in Near Protocol. So I kind of like know a thing or two, how these things would go and why people would be incentivized to do something. So we said, hey, we're not gonna make in it for making a quick buck. We're not gonna just launch tokens and just have a schedule of like unlock tokens and whatnot. However, we have a very robust tokenomics, and the strategy is definitely there. I would encourage our users to basically go and look at it. It's 100% transparent on our website, and we stay true to that. But the whole idea was not to make the project look like, oh, they're just a quick money making scheme, and the tokenomics doesn't make sense, and there's no validity of the token, and how am I going to use it, because there's no actual use of it. So it's probably like a pump and dump type of project, and that strategy. So that's why I want to assure our users that that is not the case, that what we're doing here at Undead. We truly are in it for gaming, and for our community. Like without us, this project would not even exist, because if our community isn't strong and they don't respond and give us love and so forth. And that's evident in our in our mint. Like, who did more than $1 million in terms of a mint sellout within within 24 hours. I think we're the only project who was doing it because the community is so strong and great. So I think that's one of the reasons, Geo, that we want to keep it pretty sane in terms of when it comes to like tokenomics or unit economics for our token, and the validity and the usability of the token. So I think though it's a mix of those decisions. That's why you took that stance.
Yeah, that sounds logical. Also, in terms of basically projecting an image that it's trustworthy project. That's I think goes in that direction, so that people build some trust towards the platform and the project overall. So yeah, I just want to discuss now the airdrop that you launched with the release of Undeads Rush. So, and you also said that you have plans to release more in the future. So, could you share the rationale behind implementing such a multi-season airdrop strategy, and how do you think it's going to benefit the players?
Yeah, I think it's going to benefit them tremendously, because usually there's just only one airdrop, but we decided to do two instead of one. And let me, I think, kind of like give you down the logistics of it, the breakdown. Like, what does it really, how does it really make sense? So I think in season one of the airdrop, it really constitutes of like 4% of our total supply. So right, so it's not like we're just going to like open the floodgates and just like have you pretty much everything, and just it's a barrage of the supply that we're releasing. It's very strategic. That's how we're distributing it. So where basically 1% of it is allocated for our community and for the drop of to NFT holders. So I think that is absolutely important. Again, I cannot stress more than this. People who have participated in our drop for our NFT and who have minted these and they have them, they come first, because they're the loyal fans, right? They're the ones who are actually supporting everything. So we make sure that we want to stand by these people 100% and give them access to all the freebies, early access, and stuff like that. So I'm a huge fan of early adoption and early adopters, so that I'm gonna stick by them and give them basically what they deserve, honestly. So then after that, another 1%, it's basically what we're going to use it for. It's airdrop distribution, and that's for people now who are actually players of the game, not just basically hodlers of the NFT, but people who are playing the game and who are getting these point swaps. They will get point swaps. That's why we launched Undeads Rush. So the airdrop season 1 and season 2 is directly related to Undeads Rush. So the Rush program is, you have an NFT, yes, you can play the game. Now you're playing it. Now you're earning points, right? So what do you do with these loyalty points and so forth? That's where the swap will come in and really help you. So since it's a 4% total supply of 4% in season 1, that's how we're going to do 1% and 1%. So 1% is for NFT holders. The other 1% is for loyalty swap points. And then the remaining 2% is going to be basically an airdrop distribution that is linked to the entire game point swap. So you can swap all the points that you have in the game. You won battles, you won races, you've created amazing things, and now you want to do it the entire swap. So that's basically where it results to the swap. So I think we believe that this is a very innovative approach to how we can engage with our community members, with our NFT hodlers, and how we actually rewards the entire Undeads community, and making sure that everything is done by law. So we want to make sure that we don't want to have SEC knocking down on the door and having any types of like legal ramifications and problems for both parties, for us and for our players in our community. So this makes sure that it is adhering to all the legal and regulatory conditions that basically apply to airdrops. So we're definitely kosher when it comes to doing that.
I love these different methods with which Web3 projects engage with their community, and I think it's very interesting the mechanism that you just described as a way to to foster participation in the community and create a stronger link between the community and the project itself. So now I just want to dive deeper into this topic and ask you about the mechanisms that you have in place to sort of stimulate um, suggestions and sort of feedbacks from the community. How do you do it? How do you take those feedbacks and insights from the community itself, and how do you balance those feedbacks and wishes with your vision for the undead?
Yeah, Gio, I cannot stress on the community. Maybe it's just a buzzword that in blockchain everyone is throwing, like, oh, it's all about the community, and everyone says, but like our game is run by community members. Like, there's no other business model here, right? So we have to listen to them. Feedback comes in different forms and fashion. Discord is a very active community. Telegram, we listen. People tweet. That's also another way of listening. They email us as well. But more so, mostly, I think Discord is the way to go. Where most people are more active. Like gamers, I think they spend more time on Discord. So it's a very active community of back and forth, and things like this, like AMAs. I do so many AMAs. I do so many road shows. I'm on the road. We're pretty much at every single conference you can think of. I just did European blockchain convention in Barcelona. I just came from there. I was at Pocket Gamer in Helsinki. So we did that one. We're gonna be going. We did Paris Blockchain Week last year in April. We're gonna go this year as well. Next year, I mean, in 2024. And so we're on the road. So we community members, they come up, they talk to us, they meet. So they get to get a chance to meet with an actual person, like physically there when they're there, so they know the project is good and alive and so forth. And a lot of sessions like AMA, these ones, I host them not just on Cointelegraph but on other multiple platforms as well. You guys are amazing when you guys give us a chance, and that's where you rally up all the members and so forth. I think this is one of the biggest AMAs that we can do, because again, your brand name is phenomenal, and I think the credibility is amazing, and the audience that you really bring just gives extra oomph and boost, I think, to the project. So there's a lot of ways of interacting with us. My email is pretty public. It's leo@undeads.com. Anyone can basically email me, and we listen, we talk to fans and stuff like that. So it's multiple ways of talking to our community members.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love blockchain events and Web3 events. Sometimes I have been attending a few of them. So hopefully next year, maybe we are going to meet in person at some of them at some point. So yeah, I just want to follow up on the next question, which is about the future projects, the future prospects of the Undead. So can you give us some ideas about what are the upcoming developments that we should look forward to? Maybe something that relates to the holiday season coming up, Christmas. Do you have any special events coming up soon? Anything that you want to share?
Yeah, I think Rush is the one that we are basically giving an early Christmas gift to all of our audience. So undeads.com/rush. Definitely go check it out. So that was the whole thing when we were talking about it. We're like, hey, Christmas season is coming up. There's going to be holidays, and what are people going to do? Are we just going to sit here and not do anything? We're like, no, we're gonna launch Undeads Rush, where they can actually play, and they can blow some steam and have some obviously have some time with their families, but also have some me time as well. So I think that was important. That's why we launched Rush. But in terms of anything else, I don't think so. We're launching anything. There's not any real events happening because we're going into the holiday season. So everything will kick back off, sometime second week of January. I think that's when people come alive. We just want you to stay safe and spend time with your families, and show us some love, play the game. If you can, I think that would do it tremendous. And again, if you keep earning rewards, you're going to be part of that airdrop, and you're going to be swapping those points. So I think that's going to be phenomenal. But in terms of doing anything else extracurricular, I think that this is pretty much it. Because this is it's a slow time. People want to spend time home, and the people travel, and all of that. That's just so we take those into consideration. And I think back in 2024, we come back with a bang, and no pun intended, but we're literally like off to the races. We've been in production for about a year and a half. You guys need to understand that this is very, very hard to achieve. This is not something, one of those. I mean, you saw the trailer, you saw the quality of what the game is and what we have to offer. So it's just not that we're making a very bad game. The mechanics are very bad, and it's just not gonna. It's gonna leave a bad taste in your mouth. We want to really make sure that you have a AAA rated experience when you're basically playing the game. So we're working hard behind the scenes to bring you basically the best gameplay that we can, and we're making sure that Undeads.com, the actual game, the entire metaverse, it's on schedule, and it basically releases on time. So that's the goal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and 2024 is likely to become a big year for crypto. So super excited about everything coming up next year. But also, just moving on to the final question, I want to ask you about a long-awaited blockbuster AAA game, which has been hinted in your announcements. So maybe can you give us some exclusive insights about this upcoming game, and what can players expect in terms of gameplay, graphics, and overall experience, and also when
Yeah, I
it
mean,
will be
look.
released?
Yeah, again, no hidden secret. I don't think so. I'm all about like secrecy and everything. It's all public information. So if you go to like our website, which is undeads.com, we talk about the roadmap and we talk about the development. I mean, there are basically sandboxes that are available to you that you can basically download demos and you can play, and you can play it as well. So I think that's absolutely available to you. But I think the biggest keyword here would be VR. Like this game is not just mobile only. Like I'm not saying that it is. You can play it also on mobile, but it's also VR. So from day one, that is actually one of the most hardest thing to attain within the Web3 environment, is bring VR capability to this type of metaverse and this type of game. So I think that is the capability that we will unlock, and that people can basically play the game. So I'm excited about that. So I think that's the biggest announcement that we have, that this game is VR ready.
All right, super excited about it. And so I think that we can wrap up the discussion here. I think we don't have any more questions. I was thinking about questions from the audience. At the moment, I haven't seen any coming up. So I think, the discussion was probably pretty clear for everyone. And just a final question that I have for also in behalf of the audience is how people can get in touch with your team, how they can follow the latest news about the Undeads, and in general, like any contacts that could be useful for people watching to keep in touch with what's going on with your project.
Yeah, so Geo, it's all listed on our website. So undeads.com with an S. So go to undeads.com, and you can simply click on any link when it comes to in terms of our community, whether it's Discord, whether it's Telegram. Actually, you can it's live Discord, so you can simply just go to the website and you can click on the Discord or Twitter link or Telegram link. It's right there. It's the pop up is there. You can't miss it. It stays on the screen. It doesn't disappear. So it's very easy for you to just basically click on those things and just contact us there. So we are available anytime that you guys need us.
All right, cool. So thanks a lot, Leo, for joining our AMA today. It was very cool to hear all your insights, and I'm really looking forward to play your game. And hopefully, I look forward to see you again on the show. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Gio. This has been great. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. I love these bubbles that they pop up, these interactability. See, like that? That's pretty awesome. So thank you, guys. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and thanks for everyone watching. Thank you for tuning in, and be sure to tune in the next Cointelegraph AMA. Follow us on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Telegram. I'm Giovanni, your host, and I see you next time.
Thank you, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.